Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Deja Vu, and I am now going to be bringing you the actual first set of KTF MagicNs versus Hwaesung Oz in the Shinhan Bank Pro League 0809 Round 4 Week 4. This first map is Battle Royale. It is going to pit the top two Zerg versus Zerg players in the world currently, Jaedong for Hwaesung Oz, and Luxury for KTF, or Practice as he is naming himself a lot these days. And if you watched the previous video, there was a whole lot of backstory and some like locker room stuff about the two teams. It was pretty cool if you want to go check it out. Yeah, there's no actual gameplay in there or anything. It's just some interesting preview stuff. That's about it. And yeah, these two players are ridiculously good at ZVZ. I think the lead actually so far is like 3-1 or something like that. Jaedong over Luxury currently. Something along those lines. Jaedong definitely has had Luxury's number in the long run so far. Actually, I think this is... Actually, I think it's even worse than that. I think it's like 6-1 or something like that, Jaedong over Luxury so far. And now the game is starting. We are going to have Jaedong in the bottom right, and it is going to be Luxury or Practice in the top left. And yeah, I'm going to expect both of these players to do the standard on this map, which I have seen over and over again. It seems to be the overpool with gas build, or over gas with pool, whichever one you throw down first. It doesn't seem to make too big of a difference in what I've seen which one they do, but we'll see if either player decides to do something different. In the last game that Jaedong played on this map, spoiler alert, he actually lost his 10-game winning streak to Hiva. So I predicted that afterwards, in this game, the next game that Jaedong played ZVZ on this map, Jaedong would go absolutely nuts and just embarrass, destroy, annihilate his opponent. But his opponent this time is Luxury, who is absolutely no slouch, who's a great Zerg versus Zerg player, and Jaedong hopefully will be on be a little careful, you know, don't go too crazy, Jaedong, if he's feeling a little pissed about that last game. Hopefully he doesn't do anything too crazy and just plays his game and tries to pull out a win here against an extremely good Zerg versus Zerg player. And yeah, it does look like both players are using that 10th larva on a Overlord there that pops for Jaedong, I think. And Jaedong throwing down his spawning pool and then an extractor. And Luxury actually, okay, that was a little bit odd. It seemed a little bit late there for that spawning pool for an overpool. He went down later than Jaedong, which is odd. Usually when that happens, these players usually have the builds down to such a point that they go down at the exact same time. But it looked like it was going to be the same build, but for some reason it seemed a few seconds later. Not sure actually why that was. Maybe he went and got an extra drone or something with one of those larvae before he threw down his spawning pool. Yeah, that is what it looks like. There's a maybe that's what it was. And got that bonus drone. And we'll see if that comes into play at all. Yeah, it definitely looks like that because it does look like Luxury has a couple drones more than Jaedong at this point, or maybe Jaedong just has more on gas, and that's what it is because Jaedong's mining his gas. I'm really confused as to why Luxury's buildings came up later than Jaedong's, and Jaedong is starting his lair with his first 100 gas. We will see what Luxury decides to do with his first 100 gas. I'm going to assume that those first eggs are going to be Zerglings for Luxury, and yeah, I think what Hiva did is he got a lot of Ling pressure. He won the game pretty much on Lings. It did barely get to Mutalisk, but what happened is Hiva got his Lings into Jaedong's base, taking advantage of the Psi Disruptor and the Zelnaga Temple to open up one avenue attack, and then also brought in some Lings from the Assimilator side, and was able to get a run-by into into Jaedong's base and take down the Spire, and won that way. So, yeah, I think Jaedong will be watching out for that this time. And Jaedong coming out with some Zerglings to Luxury's base, and he's picking at the Assimilators, and now he's thinking about going in, but he really shouldn't because Luxury has just as many Zerglings there, and they're in a better concave, obviously. But it looks like Jaedong's going to position his Lings into a concave on the outside of Luxury's Assimilators, and at the same time start picking at Luxury's Assimilators. And we'll see what strategy he's going for here. Usually players have been taking down their own Assimilators in Zerg versus Zerg, and a Hatchery going down for Luxury. And the reason for that is that then Lings can't harass your base without taking the more circuitous route through the map artifacts. And Jaedong throwing down a Spire and not a Hatchery. We'll see what Luxury's doing here. This might be a big time Ling build from him. And what that does is when the Lings have to do that, it lets you focus more on the air battle, get more Mutalisk and everything out. And now Luxury Spire coming up, but it's going to be later than Jaedong's. Both the Assimilators go down at Luxury's base, and Jaedong is now going to go for that Psi Disruptor and then go for the temples. But I think Luxury's going to know that this is coming. It wasn't hidden at all for This is not going to be a surprise at all. Jaedong didn't even try to hide it. He's just going to go straight for it. But and I think Luxury will be prepared, but we will see how this defense worked out. It will be of course be a micro fight, and we'll see if that second hatchery for Luxury ends up paying off. Yes, he is going to be behind in terms of getting his Spire up and getting air units up, but if he can survive to that point, he will have an advantage in his larva count, which can make a big deal. And yeah, that is let's see what they're doing. And yeah, there's another Overlord popping for Luxury, and I think I think Jaedong actually threw down a second hatchery at his natural expansion. Now he's going to take down his own assimilators. This is an interesting build, or interesting strategy by Jaedong, taking down all these assimilators by himself. And he broke one of the side disruptors, which helps on the helpful side for him, but he's not actually bothering to go for that Xel'Naga Temple. Instead, he's just going to sit here and wait till some Zerglings. And it looks like Luxury is going to kill off his own Zerglings to clear up some size space, so that way he can build more Mutalisks. But this might have happened at a bad time, because now now Jaedong is coming in with Lings, going for that Xel'Naga Temple, and at the same time building a ton of Surge. He's going to try and catch the Mutalisk of Luxury as they pop, and we will see what happens here. A creep colony going down for Luxury, but I'm worried about these Mutalisks. And actually, those are Scourge that popped out first, and those Scourge might cancel each other out. What's going to happen? Yeah, some of the Scourge do cancel out, but it's still one Mutalisk go down, and two of the other Mutalisks. One of the Mutalisks went down. One of the Mutalisks is almost dead for Luxury. And more Scourge in the air for Jaedong, and Jaedong doing a good job here in keeping the Mutalisk number really low, and that Xel'Naga Temple is almost down, and that Creep Colony became a Spore Colony. More Scourge out for Jaedong coming from both of his bases. Does not have any Mutalisk in the air quite yet. He's just going to use his Lings to put on pressure and use the Scourge to take out, or to force the Mutalisk to micro, and another Scourge landed on another Mutalisk, and the Xel'Naga Temple is down, and now Jaedong is in the base, takes on the one Ling of Luxury, and Luxury is going to have to use his Mutalisk to fight against these Zerglings, and then the Scourge are going to come in here, and then it'll be a huge micro fight. Another one landed, and we will see. The Zerglings are not going to be able to do much against that. He needs to get to the Spore Colony, but it doesn't look like there's enough left. I think they will go down, but they are killing drones. They are killing like 2 or 3 drones. 4 drones maybe even went down there. That's a big loss for Luxury. That's a lot of drones to lose here, but Jaedong at this moment has no okay, now the first Mutalisks are popping up out for Jaedong, and now we're going to see a micro fight at Jaedong's base. I don't think he's lost. Yeah, he hasn't lost any drones yet, and this is going to be a big fight. And he takes down the Scourge for Luxury, and Luxury's Mutalisks are damaged, and all of Luxury's Mutalisks go down. 4 Mutalisks now, 5 Mutalisks now for Jaedong, as more and more reinforcing Mutalisks are popping, and 2 Scourge as well. And he's going to be moving towards Luxury's base. Luxury might be in a whole lot of trouble here. I don't think he has too many forces around. He's got 1 Mutalisk there, and Jaedong is going to go in here, and he's going to kill more drones, and that is GG from Luxury. That was a great play by Jaedong, using the combination of Lings and Scourge, bypassing Mutalisk completely at the beginning of that fight. That was genius by Jaedong. That was a wonderful play, and yeah, that is why Jaedong is the master of ZVZ. He can win in any way. He can win with Zergling, Scourge, Mutalisk, anything, any way that he can think of, he will use to beat you. And yeah, no worries to all the Jaedong fans out there. Jaedong will not be slumping at all. He takes down this game for Hwaesung versus the second best ZVZ player in the world, Luxury, and Hwaesung takes a 1-0 lead. Jaedong is back on top and raring to go, which is awesome to see. And I will see you all in set 2.